And we are live. This is Travis from Carter Cow Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the Forex market. It is 9 p.m. This is another Trade with Travis night session. I hope everybody ended up doing very good in the trade today. I'm going to be honest with you. I placed in the trades that we had this morning, and quite frankly, I took my eyes off the computer and then watched the market explode. The market literally exploded up for a very good move to the upside, kind of broke through some of those positions that we ended up talking about a little bit earlier. But currently, right now, the question is, okay, now what next, right? On here, if you are a first-time listener, first-time watcher, thank you for being able to watch in. Whether if you're watching in on TradingView, whether if you're watching in on the Red Brand, whether if you're watching in on our Discord, if you are a part of that group and being able to do that. If you want to be able to get free access to the Discord, all you have to do is click on this link that I'm going to actually end up placing in. Once again, no pressure, no things that you have to worry about. When it comes down to that, you are interested in being able to get quality education, quality analysis, being able to build with a community and a group of people that are interested in being able to win uh, and being able to win consistently, and being able to get like free expert advisors and other automation systems and indicators and a lot of ebooks and everything else like that. Hop in and consider being able to join, or consider being able to join the premium section of the Trade with Travis course, but or Trade with Travis Discord. But there you go. That's a link that you can be able to get into. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and go through the disclaimer. Then I show myself on the screen, and then after that, we're going to get started. So I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. Um, Travis, how goes the battle? Everything went okay today. Oil, we end up doing pretty good on. We end up doing very good on XPX 500. We end up getting out of it a little bit earlier while we was in the session, but I wish I would have stayed in a little bit more based on it. But profit is profit, like always. Not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or sell. What I'm here to do is be able to teach you education, and from the education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it is not promised that you end up making money today. All right. So with that being said, get ready to show myself onto the screen. Uh, Here we are. There we go. Hope everybody's doing very well. Um, Everybody, all the good folks on TradingView, all the good folks on the Red Brand, being able to go from there. Uh, Glad to be able to talk to everybody when it comes down to what we're going to end up doing today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what happened on the economic calendar. Have your questions ready. If you have any, go ahead and place them in. We'll end up talking and seeing what happened with that. Uh, So earlier today, we ended up having the interest rate just came out for the New Zealand dollar. Actually, ended up being 0.35, which was expected. Um, a 50-point basis raise, but um, we'll see. We'll see how that kind of affects what's happening with the market with New Zealand. Remember the last time that New Zealand and Australia and everybody else ended up having like that bad hit early in 2020. The one group or the one country that actually ended up kind of responding the best was New Zealand. Going out from there. Let's see. What was the problem? What was the problem with the black screen? Did you never ever find out? No, I never found out. I restarted my computer, like restarted everything, and then tried it out from there, and it worked. But that was a day afterward, so it is what it is. Going into tomorrow, we have ADP unemployment change. That's a precursor to non-farm payroll, and then after that, ISM services PMIs. We'll see how that actually ends up going for the United States. But overall, it's going to end up being a pretty slow day, just like how it was. Well, I thought it was going to end up being earlier today, but that's essentially what ended up happening based off of that. So we'll just kind of pay attention to all those moves. Uh, let's see. Is my audio good? Is my audio good? Sound check, sound check. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take a look at silver again. I think it might be you. You check it real quick. Let's see. Think hit. All right, so big three. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see what ended up happening. United States dollar index, gold, and oil. Um, that was an explosive movement. We ended up talking about how the euro going to end up popping up a little bit earlier. Very explosive movement. Let's see. So U.S. dollar index, what ended up happening? We ended up having a day of a little bit of a, I would say a little bit of a rebound, but from a weekly perspective, we're still showing, and I said this earlier during the week. I said that we'll probably end up seeing more of an evening star candlestick that will be built out, and that's exactly what's starting to actually form. Um, and at this particular point, you probably end up seeing that this market may continue to keep on falling down to the downside, at least before non-farm payroll. We'll see how everything kind of plays out with that. Taking a look at it from a daily perspective, we're getting close to the buy zone now, so the market is being a little bit oversold. At this particular point, what it is doing is that it's basically falling and retesting this overall move. I thought that this may have been the retest from the movement to the upside, and it was. We may end up seeing this may be the movement to the downside. I mean, movement to be able to retest and see if the bulls are going to end up being strong. So we broke past resistance. Hopefully, it turned into a future support if people are interested in being able to buy. At this particular point, we're going to wait and see how the market kind of reacts off of that. 2 hour perspective. I ended up saying earlier today that because the market only made a retracement of the 236, then it will be falling kind of under that 80-20 rule. Um, And more than likely, what will end up happening is that if we do bounce, it probably, I mean, if we do fall down again, it'll probably go down to 13,265 before actually being able to pop back up. But I am seeing a little bit of consolidation, and kind of go from there. See, newbie to option trading. Any tips? I don't necessarily trade options as much. I end up trading futures. I end up trading Forex, Bitcoin, and pretty much any other thing when it comes down to the setup. But I think the quickest tip that I would end up saying is that it goes back to the setup. Whatever your setup and your whatever your strategy is, if you can be able to use it and it can be done and be able to kind of morph in between the three different types of markets that we have, if you end up having a solid strategy and you can be able to use it over and over again in your sleep and know exactly when to be able to get in and protect yourself when it's time to be able to get out, then you're solid. It takes a long time to be able to figure out what that strategy actually is. But once you end up figuring out what your strategy is, then just keep on going from there. But there's no sense of being able to place in real live money until you know what that actually is. Uh, Definitely don't sit up there and try to experiment with your money. Uh, Steve just said it. Start paper trading. Uh, but when you do paper trade, you need to treat that paper money like it's your own. Uh, and be very meticulous with it. If you end up doing that, and quite frankly, what you're going to end up doing is putting yourself into a position where you'll feel very comfortable in what you're doing. Now, with that being said, I actually end up having a section inside of the membership area of our Discord. If you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more about that, where I have a private collection of books and ebooks and everything else like that. I got easily hundreds of books that you can be able to go through that gallery and be able to take a look at. So I'm going to share that with you real quick. And once again, typically what I end up doing for a person that is new is that I end up adding on trade tickets for the equity management, for this equity management in general. So let me go ahead and get you situated with that. Let me tell you what the trade tickets are. Uh, Trade tickets all way. This is for Forex players mainly, but for you to be able to manage whatever account the size that you end up having. So let's say if you end up having a $5,000 account and you only want to risk 3% of your account in each trade, then that tells you that you only risk $150. From there, let's say if we're looking at hypothetically AJ for the overall trading, uh, uh, yeah, the overall symbol that we're going after, and we have a risk of 75 pips, then you can be able to place in your risk for the total risk, total reward, and it'll tell you what it is. And if it's above 1 to 2.3, it gives you the okay to be able to do it. It tells you what your margin is going to end up being. It tells you what your lot size should be placed in, obviously by the color, and being able to go from there. The only thing that I need from you personally is send me a personal message with your email address, and I'll share it with you. But once again, uh, hopefully, hopefully people in this community can be able to help you along the way. Good luck to you. All right, but United States dollar, saying that to say that there's really no move yet until the market actually ends up falling. I think that we'll probably get down to 13,265 first, and then after that we'll see. That's when people will probably start trying to make some type of movement. You can message me on this platform. All you got to do is just add me as a friend and just message me from there. Then after that, I just send it over to you. Or you can do it on the Discord. If you do it on the Discord, then it goes straight to me. Matter of fact, I'll probably say just do it on the Discord because then that means that obviously you can be able to see everything inside that platform as well. But here we go. Oil. Man, we ended up taking a trade on oil earlier today, and the thought process was twofold. One, uh, we end up seeing that from a daily perspective, we finally end up breaking out of this downward channel. Once we end up breaking out of that downward channel, my thought process was that once we end up seeing that the market actually end up breaking out of this overall consolidation that we was interested in being able to pay attention to. Once it broke out of 82.96, then we'll be interested in being able to buy. For the people that are live, if you end up taking that trade, type in me because we end up talking about this trade for 3 or 4 days and uh, finally ended up taking it on Monday. I'm sorry, on Sunday and on Monday. Um, First take profit was to 86.40. They actually ended up getting hit earlier today when it came down to the movement that we just had. So once again, congratulations to everybody. They ended up taking that trade. It really didn't get in the drawdown at all. Had a big pop, had a little bit of a retest, but then after that, just went. So um, excited about that. Now that's take profit one. Take profit two was at 95, and remember, I mean 94.50. Remember, we were looking at that based off of the daily retracement and the King's Crown that we end up talking about when we start seeing this market really start to fall down to 77.11 when we end up making that profit off of it last Friday. So essentially, what I think is going to end up happening is this. I think that the market, once it ends up breaking out of this overall area and confirms this move, we probably will see a huge push up to 94, 94.59. Now, is it going to happen next week or anything else like that? I don't think so. We're getting a little bit overbought, but this is a breakout. We'll probably see a little bit of a retest, and then after that, we'll probably see the move actually happen. But remember, cold months, or at least in our area, October, November, December, going into January, especially in early February, oil typically is humming when it comes down to movement. So it's about time for us to be able to make that move to the upside off of it. All right, go. Oh, if you're not in, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. If you're not in off of this one, what I am seeing is that we have consolidation at this particular point that's starting to build back up. So take a look at this from an hourly perspective, from a 15-minute perspective. Put 2 hour, good night. 15-minute perspective. What I would say is this: take profit when it's been hit. The Okay, so take profit when it's been hit. We're starting to see that the market's starting to consolidate again. So that means that we're somewhat inside of a high volume node or a medium volume node, depending on what it looks like. The easiest way to be able to check that would be on TradingView to be able to go to West Texas Intermediate. You probably get a better idea of being able to see what the actual move is. If you're being conservative, I would enter in at 87. If you think that you can be able to hop in, or you want to be a little bit more aggressive, I'll look at being able to get in by after the market ends up hitting above 1870 or 8670. 8670 will be a aggressive entry. 87 will be a conservative entry, but you'll clear the whole area if you end up taking that. Stop loss, if you're getting into the trade now, or would be considering being able to take a trade now on this one, we end up being uh, more than likely below this overall low at 85.15. So what that means is that as the market moves in, if you still have that second trade in, you can move your stop loss up to there, especially if the market keeps on pushing up and kind of dollar cost average and kind of lock in profit while the market's actually moving. There's no need to be able to have your stop loss still back here if we can see that the market's going to continue to keep on moving. Now, if it breaks to the downside, then 85.15 is an area where I would look at being able to say, okay, well, set an alert. And if it does break down there, go ahead and just take your money and run because we don't know what's going to happen after that. But uh, if we do have a chance, and that will be the thing that I would look at being able to do. Okay, so there we go. Go. I wanted to see if the market was going to retrace a little bit and give us a chance to be able to get in. Um, and if it did, then after that, I would consider being able to move. Let's see. Her OPEC was going to reduce supply by 2 million barrels in order to bring up the price. Yes, that would. That would make sense. Not sure how Biden will replenish the services at 80 per barrel. Uh, they push prices up to 100. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But it goes back to what I just said before: supply and demand, right? I could see that OPEC and I could see that other groups that have barrels of oil would sit up there and start trying to give you less, uh, or basically cutting it down and basically making a bidding war out of it. Because at this particular point, um, I know in our area, people are going to need it. So, I mean, you're going to pay for what you need. It is what it is when it comes down to that. Sorry way of being able to explain it, but it is what it is that people are going to end up. People are going to try to be capitalists. They're always going to try to be capitalists. So, with that being said, I was hoping that I could be able to catch in by 1685, and I don't know if I want to trade this as much anymore. But that black line 1742 would be somewhat of the halfway point on gold. Now, the halfway point of that first consolidation. I typically don't trade inside of consolidation. I really don't like doing it. It kind of makes my stomach hurt a little bit just by the anxiety of being able to stay inside of it. But if you are interested in being able to make a trade off of this is what I would say. Very simply put, we haven't built out a natural support and resistance yet. Once that starts to build out, then we'll see if this market holds at what number is this? If this market holds at 1719. Then after that, starts to be able to create a new resistance. Then after that, you got an area where you can start being able to place trades on the outside of. Currently, right now, there's nothing to be able to do, and I would kind of hold off on doing anything until that actually happens. So there we go. Nothing on gold yet. Um, let's take a look at silver while we're talking about it. Silver had a 17% move yesterday. I was talking about this yesterday, and the guy ended up asking me would I get in, and that answer was very much no, not at this point, unless it ended up breaking out of consolidation or breaking out of the full consolidation. Let's see. Off topic question: how can you find my welcome email to Discord for my activation code? Good question. How can you find my welcome email? Okay, so if you end up, there should be a email that was sent to it if you were doing it based off of launch. If you're doing it off of launch pads, then if you go to the first page of where it says launch pads at the top of the Discord, they end up giving you some instructions from there. But I believe that should be already sent to your email. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Yes, still nothing on silver. We're getting close though. I kind of said this yesterday. I think that what's probably going to end up happening is that the market's going to retrace first. Um, this is the large consolidation that I was talking about. Well, no, it actually broke out. Go figure. Let's see. So it did break out. The question is it going to hold? If the market stays and holds above 2091. Okay, I think we did this on TradingView. I'm almost certain we did this on TradingView. Okay, I remember what I said. Okay, so yesterday what I ended up saying was when the market ended up going up to when the market ended up going up to 2078, I was hoping that the market would fall down just a little bit more so I can be able to get in off of a counter trend line break. That really never happened. Uh, it fell down for about maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then after that popped back up to the upside and stayed above the actual consolidation resistance, past turning into a new support. So that's actually a good thing for people that are looking at trying to get in a hurry. I would look for a counter trend line break to be able to break to the upside. Currently, right now, if you want to be aggressive, you could say that it has broken, but if you want to be conservative, I would say wait for it to break out of that area. Now, from a volume perspective, once the market ends up breaking above 2105, then this thing possibly could start being able to hum to the upside. Um, let's see. I had it close to 2087, next resistance 2197. Let me get more information. I can be able to tell you. I can tell you directly if I think that is the price. Okay, here goes the daily. I got 2149 is the next safe area to be able to get out. So 2149 would be the safe area to be able to get out. Obviously, you can possibly be able to take it up to 2197. Typically, what happens is this, and I've seen this happen earlier today as well. Anytime that we end up seeing a block and then a block and then a block above it, so block of consolidation, another block above it just before the market actually ends up making that vortex and kind of falling down. If it breaks inside of this overall consolidation area, you can go ahead and kiss it goodbye and say that it could go up to 22.3, uh, especially if the market is truly bullish. Because if it's done broke out of this consolidation resistance and started to break into that consolidation support, and it's breaking that resistance again, it's not going to slow down inside of this consolidation area. Not on the first push. It'll probably end up pushing up to 22, probably end up pushing up to 2230, and then after that, it may decide to be able to slow down a little bit. Now the daily is getting into the sell zone, so I don't know how people are going to end up reacting based off of that. But if there's any more good news, I can see that the market could possibly pop up to 22.30. And then after that, kind of slow down. But like I said, the safe trade would be at 2149. If you're trying to get out early, lock in that profit. If you want to add in a second trade, then the second trade will be up to 22.30. Okay. So there we go. Let's talk about the trades that we end up getting into, the ones that actually end up closing. We're gonna start off with Dow Jones, and after that we'll go to US 30. Um, so this is a backstory. We end up seeing this consolidation start to build out from September 23rd all the way up to when the market actually ended up breaking out to the upside yesterday. Once that ended up happening, um, we end up having two orders that was placed in when I seen the market start to break back up inside of this consolidation. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So, um, simple thing to that was once the market ended up breaking above 28,920, we ended up taking our order. We had two take profits. The first one was at 29,120. Second one was at 29,740. When both of those end up getting kicked out, we end up having another sale that was at 29,740, trying to ride that up to 30,000. All of those end up getting hit today. And basically, the one that got hit at 30,000 actually happened earlier during the morning. And then after that, gave another chance for the market to be able to reset, and then after that exploded again after breaking past this small consolidation area. And I should have paid attention to that one more. Um, that's the one thing that I hate, not being around the computer doing while I'm actually in school, and I can actually be able to focus in on that. I would have caught this one. That was an easy push. I could have caught that one. So there it is. That is the push from this overall movement. Once this market starts to build out consolidation, kind of like what it is doing now, um, we'll see that. We got to see if the market breaks that, holds to that resistance. If it holds to that resistance at 30,330, then after that, we got something to be able to pay attention to. It's kind of like what's happening. Well, there it is. That's the previous consolidation, high volume node. Basically, we're back inside of that overall area. So it might be here for a little bit until the market decides what it's going to end up doing. But once it does that, 30,003, yeah, 30,330 will be the next buy, going up to 30,550. So I'm looking to see that consolidation builds out, and if it does, then we can kind of make a move from there. Do you trade Doge? I do not trade Doge, but I trade setup, so I can help you out when it comes down to what you're looking at when it comes down to that. Let's see. So no move on Dow Jones as of yet. I would look at being able to place in a pending buy at 30,330 if the market ends up breaking up to the upside and finally clearing it. Take profit will end up being at 30,550. Stop loss will have to be below the overall consolidation area. You know me, I hold it. I got to do better at holding. I do. Um, there's certain things that I wish I held a little bit longer. I wish I held Ethereum a little bit longer when I first got it. Um, a few other things. Me and Elon hold it. Anytime he ends up saying something, he makes the market move. He's about as bad as Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell make a market move now. So XPX 500, here was the orders. We ended up having two orders placed in. The first one ended up hitting take profit last night at 37.60. The second one, you should be still in it if you end up taking that buy when the market actually ended up breaking out of this area 37.22. If you did not take that buy, you have one more chance legitimately to seeing if this market will break the counter trend line break. Take profit in this position will be at 38.40. Stop loss will have to be below. Stop loss will have to be below the this overall U-turn right here, 37.54. Now you can look at this as a continuation move and say, hey, I'm going to buy the counter. I'm going to buy the counter trend line break. Once the market ends up breaking up to the upside, especially if the 15 minutes is in the buy zone, and currently right now that is happening. So we got that as a option. Let's see, counter trend line buy. Now, this is assuming uh, I'm hoping that he puts the work on Twitter when he buys Twitter. I thought he already did. I thought everything already went through with Twitter. Let's see. But if market breaks, if we're treating this as a continuation trade, if the market ends up breaking that area to the upside, then we have a pretty good move to be able to look at. You want to be conservative, treat that as a consolidation area. If the market will fall down to support, holds that support, then after that we got to trade to get in. Yeah, I know that news is. I've heard that he's been trying to buy it for a very long time. I think they ended up accepting an offer or something like that, and they had to review it or something. Sometime a while ago, it's like earlier. It was either earlier this year or earlier last year when I ended up hearing that news. Yeah, basically, I think. Um, let's see. Long position. I go from here to here. Stop loss will end up being below the swing low. We'll go right there. Not doing anything off of that move yet, but we'll see if that happens. Um, Nas, I'm going to go through it quickly. Oh, Nas, same deal. Broke out of consolidation. I'm seeing a triangle on this one more than anything else. Um, let's see. There we go. Um, Seeing a little bit of a triangle right now currently. So the question is, if we are we going through a continuation right here when it comes down to this movement, or is it actually just going to build the actual consolidation box? But I'm going to treat it like a triangle. At this particular point, the market continues to break out. The take profit at 11,709. Stop loss, if you do end up taking that trade, I'm going to erase this one. Don't need that one anymore. Stop loss will end up being below the swing low at 11,460. Um, Once this market ends up breaking to the upside, if that does happen. So I'm going to have an alert right here, um, looking to see if the market crosses up once per bar. It'd be nice. Let's see. Breakout. Let's see. CBO. CBO stands for consolidation breakout for me. There we go. I wouldn't necessarily be worried about if it falls down. If it falls down inside, then I want it to be able to go back inside of consolidation and wait for a little bit, and then allow me to be able to get in. So I'm not going to do anything for the alert on the top side. But that will primarily adjust what this order will be. It'll probably be something to the extent of that here. Do that. Probably something like that. Um, let's see. Last one, German 40. German 40 with the big had the biggest pop of had the biggest pop of ball on. We talked about this last night, and this is the one that I am disappointed in the most. Uh, and it's only because I did not place in the order, because I even have the box actually showing it from last night. This was the area where I was looking to be able to take the trade. So I'm kicking myself in the foot on this one because when we looked at it, the market was very close to being able to break, and I was just like, hey, wait for it to be able to break or give you a chance to be able to get into it at 12,330. And I did not place in the entry. So I am kicking myself in the foot when it comes down to this one. But market actually ended up breaking out of the high volume node. Um, Absolutely picked up and exploded, gave everybody one more chance to be able to get in right around 9:30, and then after that, popped right back up to the upside. Completed the move from there to 540. Currently, right now, we're inside of this larger consolidation that ended up happening from September 15th to September 26th. And currently, right now, we're at a bigger high volume node. So I think that um, that was the last chance of being able to have kind of like a big move until the market decides that it's ready to get back above the 1300s. That's the reason why I'm kind of disappointed in that one more than any other move. We could have made a little bit more, could have made something off of that move. We just didn't, or I just didn't. Um, we talked about it in the session yesterday. So hopefully somebody did make something off of it. But yeah, I'm kicking myself in the foot on that one. That one. Man, I don't like leaving money on the table like that. That's a big move. All right, so now went through everything that I ended up talking about. Aside from Doge, who said we take a look at Doge real quick. But What's Doge on the ticker? Oh, DOGE, USD. Go by finance. Eesh, okay. That all happened today? Yes, it did. I'm gonna come back to that real quick. So that means the Bitcoin ended up making a big move, correct? Yep, it did. There it is right there. All right, cool. Okay, so it broke out and it couldn't hold that 20,400 number. Once it breaks out of 20,400, it's rocket shipping up to 21,115. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. So we can see what's actually happening overall when it comes down to that movement. Um, Now going back to Doge, from a long time holder, hopefully you end up getting into it when the market gave you that small little consolidation range that just needs to be broken right around here. Um, Actually, it gave you an even tighter move to the upside. Most of the bias was over at 0.0689, and then after that, once it broke out of that area, it completely popped up. Now it's done hit another resistance, kind of like what ended up happening with Bitcoin, where this is the major area of consolidation that has to be broken um, right up here. When I had two big spikes of movements like that, the question is that going to hold, or are finally buyers going to end up believing in or start to get back in when it comes down to that movement? Now, typically October is a movement month for everything. Beginning of quarter four, you'll start to see a lot of people start to make the movements off of them. That's why we've seen a lot of the retracement moves that we ended up talking about a little bit earlier. So, simple question is going to end up being, okay, we see this, we know what's actually happening. Are we going to fully break out, or are we going to just build out another consolidation area? If it does build out another consolidation area, then it could mean that it could fall back to 0.0640. But uh, personally, the next area where I would be looking at being able to enter, if you're just trying to buy it from a flipping perspective and not a long term hold, would be 0.06657. Now, from a short term position, from a long term position, I would look at being able to try to catch it back if the market falls back to 0.0628, and then see if it's going to pop back up. So it was a good move for the people when it came down to that. Obviously, that means that every other thing went up, Ethereum and all other stuff. So there was opportunities all throughout the day to be able to make trades, and I was sitting inside of my classroom talking to students. uh, we did talk about it's kind of funny. We did talk about the three different types of markets in the class today. I teach architecture, but I always talk about financial literacy as well. So we end up talking about three different markets today, whether if it was trending, consolidation, or explosive trade areas. And we definitely were in explosive trade area on pretty much all of the markets. So I'm going to end it off right here. Uh, we end up doing 39 minutes tonight. Overall, there's only really one trade that I'm still in, and I think I might go ahead and pull it, which is oil. We ended up talking about that a little bit earlier. Really, no other trades that I'm looking at being able to get in as of yet, but we'll consider some in the near future. Like what we end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button for me. That helps out the community. We're building very rapidly, and I really do appreciate all of that. That's with all of the OGs that's been kind of sending this stuff out, and people that's been taking notice to that. But also being able, if you want to jump inside and hop inside of our community Discord, when you can be able to get more information, more resources, a lot of free books and everything else like that, you can be able to pop in. Go ahead and get signed up to that. Obviously, we got a membership area as well if you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more about that. But like always, plan your trade, trade your plan. Everyone, I see y'all in the morning as we do this again. I might do it at 8. Tomorrow we have a teacher work day, so I might be able to do it at 8. I don't know if I should. I probably should just keep it at 6:30 because we've been doing that. But I don't know. I might pipe in twice. Who knows? Everybody, take it easy.